mourning in a Jewish cemetery in Queens. The birds are not the only voices in the cemetery. People come, pray, wish, and cry for help.
Help! 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 Help!
Feel better, Rava? You want to drink something? They have tea over there.
I need tea,
You
water,
want water?
plain water.
We have water.
When I come here, I feel terrific.
When I'm here, I'm able to think deeply, but I have a lot to appreciate. So it brings me into a good mood.
Brings you closer to, you know, your God, your people, your religion.
He's a so powerful vessel that any blessing from God who come to him work.
It's emotional. It's make you more stronger. It's give you force to go through many things that you should go. I think that a lot of problem I can decide easier after that.
Everybody should try it, and you know, this place really works.
This is the best place to relax, I call this. Like, you know, that place, nobody talk you back, you feel better, I call this. You don't need to be hungry.
What you wish, you come to the Rabbi, have faith, and you have it. Guaranteed.
In Judaism, a rabbi has a special role and fulfills many functions, especially if he is considered a righteous rabbi. Throughout the years, Rabbi Menachem Schneerson gained political and financial power around the world. Some of his followers went as far as attributing divine and messianic power to him. Some still do. And some don't differentiate between praying to God or to the rabbi. For others, the power of the devout person is still a riddle, or just an intuitive spiritual support in time of crisis.
A Rebbe is not a person that's selected by people. It's a person, an individual that's born a Rebbe, and the specialty that the Rebbe had comes from straight from God.
Because of his powerful soul, he's much closer, and he's a good messenger. You know, when you want to go to a president, you need to go through different, steps. You cannot go directly, hey.
There are many things in my life that I need, and I do daven directly to God, but there's also a tradition among the Jewish people that a tzaddik provides a great conduit, almost as if instead of using a modem on the internet, you use DSL, and you get there quicker.
To do the thing with the rabbi or God, I think they are all in one place. So if you talk to God, you talk to the rabbi. I think you're talking to the same.
For president, you need to go through different, steps. You cannot go directly, hey.
There are many things in my life that I need, and I do daven directly to God, but there's also a tradition among the Jewish people that a tzaddik provides a great conduit, almost as if instead of using a modem on the internet, you use DSL, and you get there quicker.
To do the thing with the rabbi or God, I think they're all in one place. So if you talk to God, you talk to the rabbi. I think you're talking to the same. I don't know what you call them. You're not going to call them a person, but you're talking to the same. You want an answer. You want a certain thing. This is a prayer. You're basically praying for both of them, and it doesn't really matter where you get it from. You just,
Well, the Rebbe has touched the lives of many, many secular Jews. He's touched the lives of even people who aren't Jewish in just so many ways.
It's like a mystery. Nobody knows how it works exactly. Okay, but it like transfers the light of God, to us.
My opinion is not only to come to here, to every place. When you have a dead place for the Rebbe, and there's the go. You can go to here. You can go. You have a place from Satmar to go to Monroe. You have a Rav Tettelman. A lot of people go there too. You have a place to go to a Rav Feinstein. You have a guy now died. Another guy died like last week. He was another big guy for the Hasidic, for the Litvak. I called that last week.
People coming to the rabbi's grave are required to follow certain steps. Writing notes in the cemetery provides a moment of silent reflection. They write their thoughts and prayers. Age is not important. Those so young they cannot yet write draw their prayers. These are at least as poignant as those of any adult. People who cannot appear personally at the cemetery may send their wishes through Abba Revson, who runs the gravesite.
If someone can't come to the oil in person, they can always use the fax to fax a note into the Rebbe, or they can send the note via email, or they can call in their message and it will be brought in by phone.
When someone calls the cemetery, Abba asks their mothers and their names, writes the message on his Palm Pilot, and promises to post it, along with those of the rest who can physically be there. Writing notes can be a family as well as an individual experience. When someone gets to the grave, money is dropped into the donation box. Leather shoes are removed. They knock on the door and enter. Most light candles. It is customary to read verses, usually psalms, and then the written wishes are read. When finished reading, the believer tears the paper up and drops it into the grave, along with thousands of other notes, in dozens of languages, some of which Rabbi Schneerson would not have known in life. When the grave is almost full, a rabbi burns all the notes at night. The fire is believed to add further power to the wishes. The notes rise like the flames to heaven.
For many years we have seen that our sages throughout the years of the Talmud and the Mishnah would go to gravesites and pray by their rabbis' gravesites. It started by our forefathers. Abraham would come to his wife Sarah's grave and would pray at the gravesite, and then it continued with Isaac after Abraham and Sarah passed away. He went to his father and mother's gravesite, and then it continued with Jacob. All 90% of American Jews, observant and non-observant, know about praying in a gravesite. When one has a passing of an anniversary of a loved one, he comes to the gravesite and obviously says a chapter of Psalms, and it was obvious that there is something of coming to gravesites of a loved one and a family. In this specific case, after the Rebbe's passing, yes, there has been a large group or large numbers of Jewish people coming to the Rebbe's gravesite and praying by someone that's not a personal family member or a loved one, rather as a community leader and a spiritual leader to ask for help.
There are reasons people come to the cemetery to share their earnest secrets, needs, and thoughts with a cold stone. They believe the rabbi, because of his good deeds in life, still harbors a unique spiritual power. Although reasons vary widely, no one seems to lack an opinion as to why they visit. Personal health or financial crises, family problems, or a need for a greater spiritual connection may all be mentioned when those who make the journey say why they have come.
I came from Argentina and I came here to pray.
I'm happy that he's buried here because there's somewhere to go to. Before he was buried here, when he was alive, you had nowhere to go to. So now you have a sort of place that you can go and pray. I don't pray on a daily basis. When I come here, I pray a little bit, because every day we're so busy, and when we come here, I have him to pray for.
People come to Rebbe only to say, give me, help me, but you need to say good news. I start with the good news, and then I said what I need. I have everything if I'm healthy. The rest you can buy. Health comes from heaven. Yeah.
When somebody's sick or somebody having not money, he wish they have the best connection from the rabbi to go to the God, best connection for the rabbi to have the wish coming true.
The grave doesn't do anything to you. People who come here to pray, to stay connected, to remember, to ask for blessings, to thank God, and in a way also thank the Rebbe for helping them with one matter or another if something good happens. It's not that it does something to you. It's no, and yeah, maybe just by walking in the room, even though they don't know anything about it or never knew the Rebbe, will all of a sudden become overwhelmed. And others don't need that emotional hocus pocus and could come in and respect the holy place that it is. The resting place of any righteous person is a holy place.
There are many stories of people that have come in and they've been in crises, people that have had difficulties, family difficulties, and that have come out of the Rebbe's gravesite and didn't have a few minutes that they left, and their problems were solved.
I believe in a Rebbe. Rebbe, he has very, very strong power. Okay, it gives me strength to go on in my everyday life.
The last name Cohen is noble, but with its nobility come certain restrictions.
Cohen is from the priest family. There are three types of Jewish people. There's the Kohen, the Levi, and the Yisrael. There's most Jewish people are Yisrael. They're the simple Jewish people. Every Jew is important, but it's simple. And then there is the priests and the Levites that served in the temple. The priests did all the sacrifices, and the Levites worked with them. They washed their hands and feet. They sang in the temple. They did different songs. So there are special laws for the Kohen. He's not allowed to become impure by coming in contact with a dead body. He has to marry. He cannot marry a divorcee. Different laws that the Kohen has. He comes first for everything. Different gifts that were given to the priest family from the sacrifices and from the wheat and so on and so forth. So one of the laws is that a priest cannot come in contact with a dead body, can't become impure. And even though we don't have the temple today, we still try to keep those laws to the best of our ability.
A Kohen father and son walk in a gray box. They look as if they're part of a scene from a surrealist film. They are not. To them, this is natural, even a symbol of prestige. It is their routine for visiting a cemetery.
A Kohen is not allowed to go into a cemetery because Kohen is not allowed to come into any contact with a dead body, and cemetery is even a different law where you're just being surrounded by dead bodies. And so there's a couple different rules. One is that you're not allowed to touch a dead body or touch the area where he is or she is. Another rule is you're not allowed to hover over it. You can't be be in the same building as a dead body. But a cemetery has a different rule. You're not allowed to be in a cemetery at all because you're surrounded by the whole area as a dead body. So in order to get around that, or to be able to visit the gravesite in a cemetery for a Kohen, you have to be in your own domain. You have to be basically like outside the cemetery. So when you walk with this box, the box is 10 feet, 10 inches, or whatever, more than 10 tfachim, I don't know the exact measurements, but enough to make it a separation that you're in your own domain, and therefore you're allowed to walk in the cemetery because you're not really in the cemetery, you're closed off.
There are as many reasons for people coming to a righteous person's cemetery as there are raindrops. No one is better than the others. All are right and can be examined.
Last month, my wife passed, and she was 43, and she died from a heart attack. So I figured out I'm going to make suicide, but no, it's true. I was shocked. My kid was shocked. And I have one luck. I have in my house, I have a book, Kabbalah and Zohar. So I start studying, and that's what saved me.
It's not easy life for everybody, especially if you're immigrants. And I try to, to find something what give me forces to live in this world, to understand this world more deeper. I don't go just here, I go to the synagogue and I try to understand the history, the people, what I belong. Why? You ask me, you're Russian. I always was Jewish in Russia, and now I'm Russian here. I want to feel like I'm Jewish. That's why I come here. I want to understand more.
Well, for us, we live in the Americas and we're so far from Eretz Israel, so it's very important and very nice to come to a place close to home where you can find some peace and where you feel sometimes so close to Eretz Israel.
Rabbi, of course it's going to help me, and I can tell you why. Because from time of Moses until now, all the big, we call them tzaddikim, all the big people, when they die, they never, I mean, they not die. The spirit, they're here, they're coming up and down. And so when we come here and pray, it's going upstairs. So I pray for my wife, so she's not going to, you know, whenever she suffered when she was alive, now she's not going to suffer, I hope. It's a lot of power what people think, you know. Dead people have more power from us, and they pray for us. Without the big tzaddikim of dead people, forget it. We can't exist 1 hour here in earth.
It depends, you know, how emotional you are that day, or what kind of emotional person you are. Everyone relates to it differently.
Sometimes my feeling when I feel badly in the heart, I must to take this out from my heart. I went to the grave, how you call this.
It's just something between me and God. Something that you talk about, you know, that you don't usually talk to other people, and you just pray for things that, you know, that might hurt you, or, you know, things that you want differently to be done in your life. It feels good once you come out of there. You feel, I mean, I'm not religious, but I feel good, you know, that it makes me closer. I'm praying for people in Israel, my family in Israel, for Israel itself, you know.
I cry every time. Every time. I'm very tough person, like I was in the army and all of this, you know. But every time I go there, you know, I'm not crying, I'm getting weepy. You know, but it's from happiness. It's from fulfillment.
Many people feel that God has the power to fulfill wishes, either through direct prayer or accompanied by the spirituality of rabbis who lived righteously. With each story passed among friends and relatives, the reputation of the grave of Menachem Schneerson, as well as other ascetic rabbis around the world, has grown. Whether the miracles some claim are true or not, the magic accomplished by this place in believers' hearts is undeniable. Many of us have questions that we ask God. Anger, wishes, and needs may be shared with Him as well.
One of my colleagues that are here in Long Island, he's just starting to look for a house, and he found a house that cost over $600,000, and he had to put together the money with the difficulty of time. And he had planned of asking some of his constituents and some of his supporters to help him in a down payment for a new home. Just 3 weeks ago, one of his constituents came to him after he finished the class and told him, Rabbi Gurkov, I have a home that I would like you to see. If you like it, it's yours, and if not, I'm going to put it back onto the market. The home is a $600,000 house. He gave it to him as a donation, and he's paying off his mortgage and doing the renovation for him. It happened to be that this supporter is a developer. And this was just after Rabbi Gurkov was here at the Rebbe's gravesite and asked him for a blessing, that he should be able to purchase a home, a permanent home for the Chabad Center out in Oceanside in Rockville Center.
I give a loan for somebody, like 2 years, he didn't pay me the money, and this was funny. I come in so angry, not to kill the guy, I call it, to bother him. I went here to take off the pressure, and this was funny. After a few months, the guy started to pay me. I don't know why, but that's what happened, really.
Me personally, the Rebbe has not helped in a time of, I mean, I can't really answer that very fairly. There's many stories that the Rebbe has helped people in time of crisis that we can learn from and benefit from.
Sometimes when things don't come true, it happens for a reason. So everything in life happens for a reason. If it's a little bit delayed, then that's the way He wants it, you know?
I have a friend, okay, an Israeli guy, okay? He was like completely secular, okay? He wasn't religious. He was never religious, okay? His mother died, okay? And he was so shocked that he didn't thought that he can make it without her. You know, he had all these suicidal thoughts and stuff, you know. In the moment that, you know, when he came here, I brought him here, you know, like he tried everything, psychologist, you know, everything. You know, in the moment I brought him here, next day he called me, he said, the pain is gone. Till now, everything that I asked, you know, I had it, you know, one way or another. This is amazing. It's like, see miracles happening, you know, real time.
Judaism is not the only religion whose practitioners believe that prayers can be aided by the spirits of the dead. Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, and Shintoism, among others, also believe in various ways in the power of spirits who no longer dwell with the living to influence current lives. Gender, social status, or intelligence level are not factors in the quest to look for help from outside this world. This keen belief does not differentiate between poor or rich, a scientist or a mailman, a man or a woman. Anthropologists tell us that the observance of death as a passage into another realm is part of what distinguishes us as higher beings, what has defined our culture. Perhaps seeking a closer connection to God through persons seen as closer to Him in death is a unique but universal sign of our humanity.